What's happening, everyone? We are live. We are live again, 24/7. Has anyone slept out there? I've actually been getting okay sleep. So exciting times in the community. Just people out there have been scooping up some deals from time to time. Ratio. It's funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, ratio trading." That's when you're going to be able to get some deals, or no, stay away from it completely. Two different kind of sides. And then bridge opens, chaos, and all kinds of stuff. We got some prices though. We got some prices here and there. Liquidity is still thin, it seems like, so wouldn't count on them to be 100%. But we are live. We're alive, everyone. By the way, Blue Bum looks like he's going to join us as well. So we'll talk some PulseChain and stuff is and probably some Hedron, see what he's seeing on that side. But I wanted to do an AMA because I know all my validators out there killing it. We're killing it. What's up, Crypto Compassion? Good to see you, man. Yeah, Juicy 40. Yeah, man. It's I'll pull it up here in a second. It's looking good. Looking good. Warfield, what's happening, man? Good to see you back. Nazim Z15, what's happening? Good morning, Paul. Good morning. Welcome. Best from Switzerland. Cool. Hey, Bally Brands in Switzerland. So it'd be fun if you guys met up. But what's happening? Welcome. What surprised you the most about Bridge launch? Surprised me the most. Again, I saw a tweet on this earlier. I think Crypto Vince was talking about all the people complaining about high gas fees and complaining about the bridge and all this stuff. I'm like, they must have had expectations because I literally feel nothing. I feel no dim feels. I don't feel bad at all. It's like I didn't have expectations though. It's going to 10,000x on day one or whatever. I don't know why people are talking about prices right now. Like I can care less what the price is today. I don't plan on selling today. So I don't plan on selling my PulseChain bag one day after the bridge goes live. So I would, if you're having these questions, you're struggling with this and that, I would ask, be honest with yourself. Like, why do you really want things? It's like people keep asking the Maximus guys, keep complaining about liquidity for the pairs and stuff. And they're like, why do you want liquidity? It's usually people want it because they want to sell. So, there's actually Dipcatcher did a really good explanation of that, along with the high fee thing, which I've talked about, I feel like ad nauseum in the last couple of days as well. But anyways, what's up, Crypto Blues? What's up? I actually should answer the question. What surprised me the most? I'm not really surprised, I gotta say. I guess I wasn't expecting liquidity to take that long, I guess. But, this is the first launch of a new chain that I've been a part of. I've been like zero focused in. So I think it was just ignorance, really. That was not surprising, but just like, oh, okay, this is how this works. Just getting used to it. If you watched me last night with Ben, we're both like, everyone, there's not a lot of information going on. We're just kind of going off tweets and talking about stuff right now. So it's fun times, but nothing to be upset about. I'm not upset. There's nothing. I didn't expect anything to happen. I expected, it's a new network. So if anything, I expected there to be some things that weren't working 100%. I think that's healthy too. What's up, Patty Blues? What's up? Thanks for your straight. Yeah, this is a non-hopium channel. If you came here for me to tell you about your 10,000x, go watch some previous videos about. Actually, I used to talk a lot about that, about the 10,000x meme. Which, hey, memes come true sometimes. Hex one did, but just everyone's excited. It's hard to have a non-emotional response to a lot of these things, but I think you got to. If you want to have more peace, you got to have a non-emotional response to things and less expectations. 429 Cobra Jet. First transaction cleared the bridge. Awesome. Yeah, I know there's been a backlog, a lot of congestion on the network. Network seems to be working much better. Gas fees are still crazy high, but at least they're going through from what I've seen. And apparently the bridge is working better too. So that's awesome. No liquidity on the side. I know we're waiting. It's not like it's not like you snap your fingers and the network just starts. Everything's just there. No, this is day 4. It's day 4, everyone. Talk to me on day 40 when stuff isn't working. That would be more of a conversation. But let me pull up the stuff, pull up the validator stuff too. By the way, I shared a tweet earlier. K4K talked about this last night as well, but I shared the link on how to look at wrapped stuff. Looks like you got some more stable coins coming in, Pax Dollar. So you can see DAI, USDC, Tether, some wrapped PLSLV, Pax Dollar, Hex, Ether, all that stuff. So I'll drop this in the chat in case you haven't seen it. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweet about a lot of this stuff. So at RHMax, feel free. And you can see, so yeah, it doesn't say wrapped. Okay, this one says wrapped, but they don't usually say wrapped. They say from Ethereum. That's how you know from Ethereum. And if you add them to your wallet and stuff, you can change the ticker instead of USDC. If you want to put like EUSDC or something like that, or eDAI or eHex, you can change it when you add it to your wallet. Hit the little add button, and you can set its name it to whatever you want. To me, like eHex is less confusing than something else. So there's that. Let's see. The burn's looking good. Got a lot of cool stuff. Ooh, okay. So we got bridge stuff on here now too. Awesome. Awesome. This has been updated. Very, very cool. Very cool stuff. Coins. Wow. This is cool. We got bridge stats and we got coin stats here too. Thought this would be, coins should probably be first, but that's cool. Alphabetical order. That's what we're going by. Gas prices. Yeah. Gas is still not fractions of a pulse, but I don't know why that's so disappointing. It's still 1,000 times. Exaggerating, but 1,000 times less than Ethereum. Let's look at the APR. Let's refresh this page. Let's see, we got 7,195 validators. That is a good 3,000 plus more. Every day we're adding about 1,000 validators. Isn't that amazing? Every day. I know there's a big backlog to get a lot of the validators into. So APY went from, it was 50% at launch, I believe, around 50%, and then went down to, yesterday it was like 40, in the 40s, low 40s, and then around 40%, and then now we're in the 30s. So, by the way, all this volume, all these fees, if you're a validator, you're getting paid right now. So let me drop this in chat before I get Blue Bum in here. Anyone have any validator questions? Again, this Validator AMA, feel free. I'll drop this in the chat. You go to this link, and it's number 17. So I'm quite a lot of AMAs, quite a lot of content for you to go through, a lot of videos I've clipped from them as well. So feel free to check them out. There's explanation videos and otherwise. Check it out. Tells you how to set up your validator. There's different scripts and different guides out there. To me, this is my favorite one because it's mine. And I think it's got a lot of good information, automates most of the process, and tells you how to do the rest. And a lot of cool scripts here to do many, many different things. You want to run your own node, and you are running your own node. If you want to talk to your own node, use it for transactions. You can set up RPC. You can update your clients, update your information, pruning. If you're running Geth every few months or so, you need to prune it unless you want to run out of disk space. Aragon does this automatically, but if you're running Geth, which is what my scripts set up, got to do that. If you want to run Grafana, get all the pretty dashboards and stuff, I got that, all that set up. A lot of scripts here, so feel free. Again, here's what's in the repo, a little breakdown, lots of information on all that stuff. Anyways, without further ado, let's bring him back to the show. It's been a while. Blue Bum's in the house. What's happening, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm excellent. Yeah, out of the hills of Mexico, so the internet should be a little bit better. And I'm here with my Pulse Llama.
Oh, nice.
To keep us company.
Do you remember WinApp, the program WinApp?
I do. Yeah, that was great.
Whip the llama's ass. Do you remember the slogan?
No.
No, that's the slogan. Oh man, we gotta look that up. That's some old school stuff right here. WinApp.
I do remember. Yeah.
Llamas.
Hey, is there there must be a limit to how many?
Used to say that. Sorry, I just want to say, it used to say this when you used to you download WinApp and play it. It's the only thing it included. The MP3 it included was it really whipped Solana's ass. It was amazing. So
yeah.
Anyways, what's up on Validator? You got a Validator question, sir? I can help you out.
Oh, I'm just curious if there's a limit to how many validators the chain can handle, or there can be.
Oh, how many? Interesting. Well, Ethereum has 67,000 last time I checked. So I don't know how many. I don't know if there is a limit. Maybe there's a theoretical limit, but I don't think we're going to hit it anytime soon.
So it just means that the more that come on, the less that everybody receives, basically.
Yeah. So the more that join the pool, the less. Basically, this number go up. This number should go down in some way.
Right. Yeah, that's quite high at the moment, isn't it? 38.8%.
Yeah. So it's around 4% for Ethereum, and they got 67K. So if you were to imagine, we got almost 10 times less. So if you were to reduce that, it comes out to around 4%. So that's quick math.
Yeah.
Had a question. Omnic, how do you know when your sync is finished? Sir, I have some data for you. If you go to the wiki and you go to the table of contents, go to debugging, and then check the blockchain sync progress. I'll put this in the chat. You use this command on Geth. If you're running the script, so my script does Lighthouse and Geth. So if you're running the script, this will work for you. Or if you're just running Geth, otherwise it will. And if you're using Lighthouse, that will also work for you. And so Geth, so if you compare the current, so you should see if you run this curl command on the validator, see current block. This is where you are. And that's where you want to be, whatever this says. It could be higher. By now, this is a month old probably when I did this debug screenshot. So I think this is actually, it's higher right now, pretty sure, because more transactions have happened. So the delta is how far you are away. And then you compare it the highest. And then, or if you also do this command, it says false. It usually means you have big problems or you're already synced because it's not syncing anymore. And then Lighthouse, you can just run this command. It'll say synced or not if it's synced. Lighthouse has been a lot quicker than Geth recently. So I'll expect to see it to sync first. So,
and can I ask you, yeah, I'm very good. Yeah, I'm excellent. Actually, can I ask you another question? Like recently we saw Richard tweet saying that if people wanted to donate some Pulse to these validators, and it was a bit confusing because if they're validators, don't they have at least 32 million Pulse?
So good question. Last night, so Richard tweeted about that, hey, you guys want to donate? It's all about you do the work, right? You do the work, no expectations. So first, just for everyone, we figured this out last night when I was on with Ben. There are apparently 9, I think Richard said that, but there are a set number of validators who are the ones that support the bridge, help that work. And if the Genesis validators, so they are burning their fees, and you need to keep at least 32 million. Well, you don't need to keep 32 million, but if you drop below a certain amount, eventually you go off the network and all this stuff. But so essentially, I'm just speculating here on what's going on in the dev team and all this stuff. But there's one reason could be they're not earning fees, so otherwise they could use those fees to go do all this stuff, whatever they need to do with the Pulse. So they don't want to use their deposit PLS, or they don't want to. They don't want to use that portion because it's locked up and all that stuff. So essentially, I speculate maybe that's a unintended side effect of them all burning all their fees is now they don't have Pulse to operate or help do stuff on the bridge. I think just based on what I can understand.
And why were they burning all of their fees? Just as an act of kindness?
Because we're here to get to 10,000x, bro.
So it was selfish interest. They were holding some other Pulse and wanted to get that burn going.
Yeah, I mean, basically they turned PulseChain into gave it some deflationary fundamentals there. So.
Straight off the bat, right?
That was a surprise. I mentioned before,
it seems a strange move. It seems a very strange move, especially since we didn't have the USD value over there or anything like that. So they didn't even have any idea of how much they were burning in terms of USD value. You can guess, but
yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's not. They can't be just benevolent. There must be an ulterior motive Like, because it's a financially incentivized thing. Hey, like it maybe they're holding and they want to burn, so it raises the price of it. But
well, so this is the dev team. This is the 4,096 validators are the Genesis validators, you could call them.
right.
And
Yeah.
they're just bootstrapping the network. So if anyone's going to be, if they weren't that, if they were just regular people, I'd be like, oh yeah, why would they want to do that? But they're the dev team, so
Okay. So you'd think they were getting paid separately anyway.
I think they're taken care of. I think apparently they made this decision to have another pumpamental because they're cool with doing it.
Right.
Richard wants them to, so he's the boss, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of strange we haven't seen him live stream yet, but I guess he wants it all to be up and running super perfectly before that happens.
Dude, you think he's going to be on himself, like on his channel by himself, or you think he's going to go on with like BitBoy or Ivan or somebody like that?
Yeah, probably. He'll probably do all that. Well, he'll probably do both. But I don't know. Like ever since that, it's been a while since he's streamed, and so maybe he's gotten legal advice that he shouldn't or something. I don't know. I mean, I kind of thought as well, like when he asked for people to send some Pulse of these validators, it's like, well, hang on, the OA is holding 90% of the supply.
Well, that's why though. Like
so that must be a legal thing or something like that, or
yeah. So Ben mentioned this last night too. It's like no expectations. So if he does anything with that and moves anything around, I assume
you're going to argue
wanting
that
to avoid
creates
that.
Expectations. Yeah.
Well, I think he's just trying to avoid anything to do with any of that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and I imagine he'd want to be overly cautious. So who knows what the reasoning is? Yeah. Tricky. So I was just looking at the like we have a price. We have a price now because we have DAI over there, and it's very low liquidity. I think there's only like $63,000 in the DAI Pulse pool. Should we look at the current price? Yeah, it's like
So are we just looking here? So I don't know are these accurate? I've been skeptical.
I've been going off Dex Screener.
Okay.
And I put in the DAI contract address and then to see the correct one.
Okay, we'll go to Dex Screener because I know I just saw they have prices here too, but the liquidity is so low, it's kind of hard to look at it. Screener. All right. Drop this in the chat. Anyone wants to take a look? And then what are we looking at? The DAI, PLS DAI?
Yeah. And there's two of them. One is the wrong one. One's the right one. So look for the one which doesn't have 100% drop. Yeah.
Okay. The first one.
That one.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Well, there's DAI WPLS.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Liquidity, 114K.
Yeah. Oh, that's so the people. That was only about 63K half an hour ago. So people are putting into that. Okay. And so what have we got now? 1420. 20 1462.
That's a 14x, 15x.
That's a huge. That's. I think. I mean, it depends what sack points you got in at.
Right.
But I think the best, absolutely best sack points you could have got in at was, I think, 4 zeros and a 5. And I guess
really.
So then
I thought it was 10,000 to 1. I thought it was $10,000 to 1. So 3 zeros, 1. I thought.
Yeah, I think 3 zeros 1 is if you like the people in the top pools, they got the 2x. And so most people only got the like 1 to.
I see. I forgot about the bonuses.
Yeah. So I think that at the absolutely best thing you could have got was 4 zeros and a 5. And then 3 zeros and a 1 was kind of, I guess, the average, or I'm not sure if it's average, but if it's I'm not sure if it's the lowest either, but it's around there. So let's just say 3 zeros and a 1 to make everybody in. So at the moment, we've got 2 zeros and a 1 4 or whatever. So yeah, we've already 15x on the sack price. But admittedly, so that this is very low liquidity, and so if someone does get a 15x. If someone does want to dump it for a whole lot of DAI, they'd wipe out the whole pool if they did that. Probably if they did it in a big way. So they won't do that. So, but it's a good sign, and hopefully with this, when the bridge starts clearing and we get more DAI and more US whatever people are bridging over, yeah, like we're set to go. Hey,
Yeah, I think that as soon as the liquidity gets figured out, then the actual like price and the changes and swings, like you said, I'm not sure a lot of people can actually sell anything right now, even with the bridge, because
Well, you have to
one
sell into something. Yeah, you have to. If you want to sell any large amounts, you'll have to sell into something else, like, which is actually not the dumbest idea, because like there are some bargains if you were ratio trading, and I mean, first of all, putting into the PLSX liquidity pair and then farming that, the INC tokens, there's people are earning a lot in INC, and I think it's pretty overvalued INC right at the moment. I mean, who knows? But it's not the worst idea to farm that and then move it into something which maybe people have been dumping. And a lot of people got HEX so that they get PLS and PLSX. And if they managed to find somebody with PLS so they could actually do a trade, then that was the HEX price going down, which made it quite a good bargain. And I would probably say the similar for the Hedron. Yeah, people have been, Hedron's been cheap. Let's just say that.
Hedron's been cheap. Yeah.
I mean, it's people are restricted in terms of, you need somebody, you need to have somebody who either sacked for PLS or who can give you some PLS in order to do that first swap so that you can start doing all of that kind of stuff. It was also nice to note that Richard just tweeted recently that there will be a way for people to get the native coins straight onto the chain. First, they're going to clear the bridge, and then
clear the bridge.
Yeah, there's some pretty funny memes about the bridge.
Yeah. I was going to bridge
one
backlog is still large,
hilarious.
being worked on. You don't need to press claim of solution.
Yeah, we're working on a solution for the native. That's really important, so that people can get native PLS. Because, like, I thought, and I actually told a couple of people this, that you could get the wrapped PLS, and then as soon as you moved it over, it would just magically turn into PLS. But obviously that's not the case. You need a bit of PLS to unwrap it. So then so at the moment, only way to get Pulse is either to have a friend that can send you some. I noticed some people are setting up things like selling their PLS for 10 cents each or something to say, send it to this address and I'll send it back to your address. So I suppose that's pretty risky. But if you're really that desperate, or there's no centralized exchanges that have listed that you can get it at. And there was a third way. I can't remember. I said
sacrificing.
Well, that's if you didn't sacrifice. Yeah. So yeah. A centralized exchange. Have a friend. I can't remember now.
Freepulse.io at some point, but it doesn't look very live right now.
Or if there was a faucet, that was my thing. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully, at Freepulse.io, I saw that they were looking to set up a bigger faucet so that people could do that initial swap, which is so nice of them. They'll probably run out of that money super quickly, though, you'd imagine. So it'd be really great if someone like the OA set up a little faucet just to allow people to make those first swaps. And
yeah, I
kind of don't see what other solution there would be. Although it's interesting because I've bridged before from Ethereum to Monero, and I didn't have to have Monero to do that. And then on other things, like when you bridge to Matic or when you bridge to Secret Network, then you do need their native, but they have kind of faucets set up so that you can get something and start your journey.
Is it better that all this stuff takes time? Is that pent up FOMO and price go up?
Oh, I mean, undoubtedly it's pent up FOMO. I mean, first of all, it's 2 years for the chain to come out. Everyone, and then finally it does come out, and people can't get any USD value onto there, and people have been waiting, and they want it bad. I mean, I think a lot of people got PulseX to swap for Pulse, so I think PulseX went down quite a lot. What's the price of PulseX at the moment? Can we see that? Is there a die PulseX?
Oh, you can
Oh,
see
just
it here
that.
on a
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah,
platform.
Yeah. Or put it. Yeah, right. Oh, so it's like 4-1 now. So it's got dropped a bit under. I think it started off around. Was it 3-1? It started off at.
I think 3-1, and I don't know. It's been hovering on 3.5 a lot. So I think consensus was it should be around 3-1, but it's been hovering 3.5 pretty much, plus or minus.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously there was a lot of people got PulseX sacked from their sack, but didn't get Pulse, and they are probably dumping that PulseX for Pulse if they managed to get Pulse from somewhere so they could do the initial swap, and they want to do stuff on. Yeah. So PulseX could be a good buy at the moment. I mean, if you are looking to ratio trade.
I think there's so many things. The farms, single side staking. It's just a lot of those. I think a lot of people will be more interested in using Pulse, because right now, you can't use Power City and stuff to mint stables and all that stuff. What can you do with PulseX? I think that's like one thing holding it back. A lot of things you can do with Pulse right now, but PulseX, it's just there's stuff not rolled out for it yet.
Well, just put it into liquidity pools with things, basically.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you have the LP. You can Pulse and PulseX. You can earn incentive token fees and stuff like that. But yeah, I think PulseX is going to have its day, but right now there's just not a lot you can do with it. Interesting.
It's getting burnt though, isn't it? Do we know how much? Can we see how much PulseX has been burnt?
Oh yeah, just 11 billion.
Alrighty, and what's it? And the total supply is
143 trillion. So 0.0076 still in 4 days. 4 days, that much.
Yeah, right. So what would that be a year in terms of
percent?
It's still a very low percentage. Like it's still,
you have to calculate because the price is going to go up and down, so less it's going to be probably burned and all that stuff. So I don't know. I haven't seen the math on what it adjusted, what it would look like per year, but
yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. That's the thing. It's like at the moment, there's probably not a lot of activity because there's no USD value. It's just the people ratio trading. But as soon as that USD value comes, there's going to be all sorts of
I think
action.
I think how this is not. I'm not saying all the bridge problems are on purpose or anything, but if you were designing something to, again, pent up FOMO, make the price go up, make people just like, not only did they wait 2 years, but now they just everything is focused. Like it's set up to be this. And
it's fate, you mean?
It's if worst case it's fate. Like if it's not intentional, it is definitely fate. Like,
well, it's fate without a doubt.
I'm totally.
I think that if you're in charge of the whole thing, you would not want this bit to be happening. You'd want everything to be like working perfectly from day zero, and it ought to be amazing.
I think that I'm okay with it not all working at once.
I'm totally fine with it. I'm fine with it. I think that this is like, yeah, like do it properly, and like I think that's fine.
But even if I had a choice, of like, okay, rollout can go super smooth, everyone can do all the trades and it'll be fine, or make people wait. I think if you design something to go up in price the best, make people wait seems like the better, the more effective way. Regardless of all the pain and stuff that occurs, if you want price to go up.
Yeah, but then it dumps. Like that it leads to volatility, if anything.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Underestimate the billionaire genius.
Trying to psychologically fuck with like mass population.
Well, isn't that the whole world? Isn't the whole world a psyop? Governments everywhere, right? So not too crazy, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think he would have. I think if you're a dev, you'd want it to go perfectly smoothly, and you'd want everything to work really well, really easily, and really quickly. Like that to me makes the most sense.
If the devs were in charge, we'd be running Ethereum at 4% APY though.
Sure.
If the devs were in charge, nobody would be making them. Everything's just great. It's just fun.
I'm sure there must have been also like tensions between the lead and the devs saying we can get this out and fix it and then add things as we go, but we need to get it out. It's been 2 years. And the devs going, no, we just want to work on this and that, and we need to do this, we need to do that. I mean, there's got to be some sort of point there where someone has to say, no, we're going. And I think that's probably what happened. And we can fix it. We have minimum viable product, and then we fix along the way.
Yeah, this is the MVP launch.
Yeah.
We launched the MVP.
Yeah.
Top Gun, I don't know what a Scivive command is. So let me know what that is, and I can speak to it. But I don't know what that is on on your validator setup.
I think he just means doing a bug by code line, no? Or
slasher. Oh, you're literally talking about like a ./ command? Like, I guess that could be a good, like.
I mean, it's all just copying and pasting, really, when you're doing it, when you're doing installing Go and all of that kind of stuff, hey? All that Ubuntu stuff.
Well, my script just installs Go and everything for you, and just.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it does 85%, estimated 85%. Like all you need to do afterwards is, real quick, after running the script, all you got to do is generate your keys securely, import them, and make your deposit. Oh. Like, that's it. You don't do any of the software stuff. Like, that's why I like my script. I use my script. Like, it's a win-win. Like, I make it and I make it for other people, but like I use it. I use all these scripts. I use all these like helpers.
That's good, but like I with another chain that was launching like a couple of years ago or 3 years ago, they had this thing to get 1,000 validators, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to learn Ubuntu. I'm going to learn how to do an EVM. I'm going to learn how to do it all. And I spent a week kind of just like, and in the end, really what I was doing was copying, pasting, and then I'd have problems and I'd go in and ask people what to do. And then they'd, like help me out or whatever. And I did learn a lot that week. Like I learned a ton, but I also learned like how little I know. And that I'm just kind of like copying, pasting other people's work.
Dude, I've been in tech for a long time and like coding and stuff forever too. And I started learning this stuff in January. I started playing with Ethereum testnet and getting it set up. And I was like, how does this not make more sense to me? I'm reading this. I still don't understand how this works. And I had to like over and over and over spend hours and hours. Like, okay, now I get it. And then, 17 AMAs later, I'm like, okay, I think I understand fairly good now. I still don't know everything. I still can't answer all these questions. People ask me questions still, I can't answer. But there's a lot to really understanding how blockchains work. It's not easy. So that's why I try to make it easy. That's why I try to just literally just run the script. Run the script, tell it where you want it to get fees sent, and then tell it your IP address on the server. And let it finish. It takes about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. Let it finish, and you're done. Then afterwards, after it's synced, do all this stuff.
So do we have it like how Etherscan has gas guzzlers? Do we have anything like that for PulseChain? Like to see which things are guzzling the most gas?
I saw there was a gas thing. Did they add it to PLS Burn? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, they added gas prices. So, I don't know about Guzzler. Let's see. That'd be on the scan, I believe.
Yeah. Geez, I've had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. It's, I don't know how to sort by that.
Right. Yeah. I guess
it's curious. There's got to be a way to see, or maybe they'll be added later.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure, but yeah, we can see gas prices.
Did you end up? Did you try the ratio trading and?
Oh,
you're frozen.
Oh yeah, I freeze every once in a while. Well, I'll come back.
Oh, you're back.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it freezes every once in a while. It's just my lag and bandwidth. I think I probably made more hex stakes than I did ratio trading at that time.
Yeah,
right. I did not participate very much. So yeah, what about you?
Well, my plan was to not, and I actually found out about PulseChain when I was that it was launching when I was like in this remote part of Florida where there was like hardly any internet or anything, and so I was like, I'll just like leave it for a week and see what happens. But then I kind of got back to Miami and I started looking at stuff, and then I got a friend kind of like I had a bit of a discussion with a friend about everything that was happening, and I was just like, oh shit, there's some opportunities here. There are some big opportunities here, and I think there still probably are if you take the time to look into like I think what's good to do is just to make an assumption of what a price should be, and then you can just calculate everything else. Like just you start. Not so much with like with EHEX, but what you do is like we know how much you know how much you sacrificed for Pulse, for how much Pulse you got. So you work out what your cost basis is there. So that's the dollar cost, bottom price of the PLS, of your PLS. And then you just extrapolate that out. So you look at the PLSX hex pair and you work out how much hex is based on that PLS price. And then you can just kind of see where all the prices are at. And then you just find out where the bargains are. And
yeah.
And if you have PLSX and PLS, it's the only way to get the INC token is the only free way to get the INC token is to farm that. And that's, people are valuing that quite a bit. I guess some people are buying it. People must be buying it if that's the case.
RH doesn't make loser coins, so
I mean, I can't see how you can't say that's not going to be a loser coin in the long term. I mean, it's inflation forever token.
I don't know. What if he builds on it? What if other people build on it? There's a lot of stuff.
Hey, did you see what Alex is like planning now?
Yeah,
he's going to build a market. Well, he's going to, ICOSA. Don't sell your ICOSA right now because it is dirt cheap on Ethereum. That's for sure. It's pretty dirt cheap. I haven't actually looked on PulseChain, but it's dirt cheap on Ethereum, and it could like if you can buy HSIs with ICOSA or Watsas and
dude,
yeah,
it's amazing. See, a week ago, you weren't so bullish on ICOSA, were you?
No. I've never been bullish on ICOSA. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying with the INC token. Like, okay, what if RH tweets?
Yeah,
actually, we're gonna wallet sacrifices INC only. Not that extreme, but
yeah, and that's so true, and it makes it so difficult to give people advice, especially now. I've got all these people who just recently met who I want to help out, and obviously getting all the security stuff done, that's the most important thing. But then at some point it comes to, okay, well, there are these products out here. This does this, and you can explain it to an extent, but you don't want to blow people's minds too much. But it's like now there's just like the choices, and like it's really difficult to know what the correct choices are. I mean, I think it's all pretty good in the Hexa ecosystem. I think that's just super bullish, and you kind of can't go wrong in a way. But so I guess just diversify out throughout that. But when you get into specifics, it's like, it's tricky to advise people. I mean, I don't think you should probably just give them information and hope they're not too confused. And
yeah, I mean, I did a stream the other day that was 10 community projects I think are game changers, and of course Hedron, ICOSA stuff is in there, but there are very few projects. I limit my consciousness so much because I got so much going on. I really want to excel in certain ways, and I'm not the guy who has 30 different tokens and all that stuff. So I picked out like 10 or 12, let's say, that I like, and for different reasons. And you got to pick some, and they're the ones I don't think are going to zero, but NFA.
It's funny, when I first found Hex, like I thought, oh well, that's it, problem solved. This is you just get this and you just stake it and make a ladder and that's it. You're set.
Boring.
And I was thinking, oh, what's everyone going to do now? What's everyone going to talk about? Like, what are all these influencers going to be talking about? There's nothing to talk about anymore. It's just like everyone can just do that, and that's it. I was so wrong.
Dude,
it's like
I mean, I remember, when Hex came out, I started transitioning from all my other coins to Hex in the ecosystem, and I think especially last year when Hedron came out, even before that a little bit, I was like, I got my stakes already in. I don't really need anything else. And then, but now it's exploded. In the last year, how many good projects too? I mean, there's a lot of projects that are controversial or debatable in some way, but there's a lot of like solid, like, whoa, we totally need that. We totally need that for PulseChain, or oh wow, that is so good for Hex, and so on. So pretty amazing. People said RH tweeted PulseChain is popular within 24 hours, 150,000 transactions, one text. Ethereum has done 300. Dude.
Wow.
I just every day, every few hours.
That's crazy. And there's bugger all USD on over there as well. So people are just going ratio trading hard.
27. Yeah, it is.
Which is another good reason to be liquidity providing. Like, Cashing in on that.
Especially 2 coins that you like. It's or you think will do well over time.
Well, that's the thing. When I look at like the long term of Pulse or PulseX, I've got no idea which is going to do better in terms of price over time. So chuck them in a liquidity pool, and sure, if one pumps, but if one pumps, you just wait a bit and it'll probably just go the other way in a few months after that. Like you would think. I don't know. I mean, how does the supply compare from Pulse to PulseX?
It's pretty close. Pretty close. So 6% difference, I think. So hard to say.
But Pulse is burning a ton more, hey?
PulseX is burning a lot more.
No, it's only one. Oh, it's 11 billion, right?
Yeah, billion.
Okay, so PulseX is going the big. Right. Okay, that changes things. I thought it was. Yeah. So you'd think that they would be pretty kind of like pretty similar prices over time.
I think over time. I think over time. I think initially. So there's so many things. So a lot of people miss PulseChain sacrifice. They got PulseX to get Pulse, but that's so if that's the narrative on the whole 3-to-1 or 2-to-1 or whatever, that's gonna go away soon, right? Because people are gonna have the chance to do that, and then whatever price it becomes after that, then there's no more, that goes away. So that's like a temporary short-term type of thing. And the tokenomics, I mean, a lot of people like the tokenomics of PulseX better. However, the wild card that just came in, the burning, the Genesis validators burning, is just that's brought things up to a different level too. So I don't know.
Okay, one last question because I actually have to go. But one last question for you. So you've got a new onboard. They say, which should I do? Like, what I want to invest in Hex. I like the idea of Hex. Should I do Ethereum or Pulse?
Wow.
Or both? I got 10 grand to invest.
I don't see either one of them losing. There may be a premium on one, but I don't see them straying far from one another. Just pure speculation. I just can't see. I can't see like it's like asking somebody a question 6 months from now. Do you think EHEX is struggling versus PX? I'm like, I don't. To me, no cheap hex on either chain. Mint, PulseChain, and Ethereum. That's what I think Richard meant by that. So, but one way or another.
Okay, but I mean, if they are at price parity, then obviously the Pulse Hex will have way more advantage because of the gas costs, like to end stakes.
So we need to see what happens with a lot of stakes. Like there's been a lot of emergency in stakes. There's been I think a lot of the whales will stay on E because they don't plan on unstaking anytime anyways, and they got. I ended
one hex. I ended one pre-big payday hex stake on PulseChain, and I think it was around 6,000 or 7,000 Pulse.
Oh, and that was how long had it been going?
Pre-big payday.
Oh wow, that's. I mean, at current pulse price,
which on Ethereum, you don't want to know how much it's like 100. I think it was like $140 or something like that, $160 to end.
Well, so that's the thing. These transaction costs are a non-whale problem, right?
So in terms of this beginner who's come to you, okay, I've sussed out, I've got my security set up, I want to buy some Hex. Which one do you think I should get? Which one do you tell them?
Well, right now it's interesting because PulseChain just came out and there's not a lot of apps, there's not a lot of stats, there's no pulsemarketcap.com. So part of me is like, they're going to have a better experience on Ethereum as far as getting so staking versus trading would be different. So if they want to stake it for 15 years, I think obviously there's advantages with PulseChain with that. But if they're just wanting to get some Hex and then see what they want to do with it, if they want to trade it, or they want to keep some liquid or stake for 6 months or something, then they're going to have more tools available on Ethereum today. But PulseChain 6 months from now, maybe we got everything. So it's interesting times right now. That's why it's kind of hard to say. But PulseChain has a lot of advantages. I'll say that. So I think a lot of new onboards will be going to PulseChain, I would say. But we need the bridges. We need stuff to be rolling, you know?
Yeah.
Right now, what are you going to tell them today? How are they going to do anything? Right, the bridges.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, right now I wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way for them to get PLS easily. So they can't buy it with their with their fiat. So.
But yeah, 6 months from now, I could be like, if I'm onboarding people, and I imagine a lot of the same stuff, it's going to be if it's just as easy as Ethereum. If I'm onboarding new people who aren't mega wells, like a basic conversation is going to be like, yeah, I mean, PulseChain's awesome. Like, it's got all these advantages. But there's a lot of wells. eHex, a lot of people have a lot of stakes over there, and they want to see them do well. I imagine it's their best interest to keep the eHex alive.
It bounced back pretty quickly, hey. Like, yeah, there was the dump straight after the fork, but it's already back up at the price that it was pre-fork, wasn't it? Isn't it? Or near, not quite.
Pre-fork was 6 cents.
I was up at 6 cents.
Yeah,
so it's like, what is it, like 3.8 cents now? Okay, so it's still down.
Yeah, still down, but yesterday it pumped pretty good.
3.2 cents. Okay, right. Okay, interesting. And what's Hex on PulseChain? What's the combined price actually?
I don't know how to properly get that. Let's see.
You do Hex die.
Yeah, so Hex die. And I'm just so.
Or Hex. Actually, just like that, it should just say it like on any of the pairs, like Hex Pulse as well.
Is it at 1 cent right now? I'm just so skeptical trusting these prices. So
switch to price in die. No, switch to price in die up on the right hand side. No, just the left of that. No, down a bit. No, left to that. No, just here. I'm pointing at it. Can't you see?
No, I'm not looking at the screen. Point at it again.
It says. Yeah, I'm joking. It says switch to price in die. It's kind of just to the right of the middle of the page.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, okay. I did not see that. Gotcha.
Yeah. And
still 1 cent.
Is that that's not the right die then? Is it? Or is it 1 cent? Is it?
Let's see, we got it's only 4K liquidity. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. Let me just have a quick look. See.
I don't see any other pulls either.
Okay, so on the Hex Pulse pair, we can look at that, and that's the price of USD. Yeah, it's 1 cent. Okay, so 1 cent plus 3.2, so it's at 4 cents combined price. So it is down from. It is down, and maybe that's a good opportunity.
So how do you buy Hex right now? You got Hex is 1 cent on PulseChain, let's say. How would you buy Hex?
Well, you'll need PLS. You need PLS basically, like to at least get some PLS so that you can do the swaps. So
I love this good problem. We have this amazing problem of so many people want it, and we can't get them what they want immediately. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I've got to shoot. But thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Good to see you. It's been a while. Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in Miami.
Yes, hopefully.
Yes. Awesome.
Cool. When are you getting here? We'll chat after. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay. All right. See you, man.
See you, brother.
Bye.
See everyone.
Yep. All right, everyone. Neil for T-Shares. Shout out to Neil for T-Shares. He's on the show yesterday, and pretty awesome guy. And there's a lot of cool stuff. If you make something in Ability, fix it in real time. Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. Devs, be devs. All right, Chad, I've not looked at you for a while, so I'm going to scroll down, see what's up. Oh, we got TDS Lane on there. What's up, man? Oh, Slasher, yeah. I don't know. See, TDS Lane's going to have to come on here and we're going to talk Validator stuff, hopefully next week. Because I have not used that. But I should look it up at some point, I guess. Brandon, wow, script was great. Set 10 validators easily. Had some issues with rest cargo minutes. Awesome. Good to hear, Brandon. See, I love success stories like that. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I love to hear people setting up validators with any script, and that obviously feels good when it's when it's your script as well. Child, lots of concurrent hex streamers these days. That is true. That is true. People it gets the people going. They're excited. All right, I'm not going to go for too much longer, coming up on an hour, but I do want to focus on validator questions. John says, can I run a validator ping 10 milliseconds? That's a pretty fast ping, man. Yeah, that seems fine to me. Don't know why you'd have any problems. Yeah, seems fine, John. Yep, Brandon confirms as well. Yep, it takes at least a day, depending on your server specs and connection and stuff. So that's I'd say about 3 days. Expect around 3 days to set up the validator fully. Stake ink and it. I know. I'm waiting for it, Neil. We're waiting for it. I want to stake Wattses. I want to stake ink. Shout out to Tetra.win. If you're interested in a DeFi automation project, Tetra.win. Or search RHMax Tetra and watch yesterday's stream, which we talked about PulseChain and Tetra on there. Adding more validators takes more hardware resources. Yeah, and pretty negligible too on the hardware. I think I say people, I mean, I'm not talking from experience, but you could probably run up to 100 validators on a, maybe, a decently beefy machine. If you're going to go for like 1,000 validators, and hey, if you got that much PLS, then you can afford to have a really, really cool server or server farm at that point. Kevin says, actual math on the APY, please do some time. 40% is wrong, saying 30%. Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors involved in that. So I don't know. On the APR, yeah, there's a lot of factors involved, and the math will come out eventually. I don't know if I'll do it or TDS Lane or Gamma or somebody, but I think we're so early. I think a lot of us will get a better understanding of it later on. But the point being, if you get in now while there's sweet APY, you get a better deal than later. If we keep adding 1,000 validators a day or anywhere close to that. Let's see. What about the Genesis burning? Yes, pumpamental. Hidden pumpamental that Richard did not talk about until recently. And you think that's the only one? You think we're not going to hear any other fun stuff? I think he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. And Hexkins, Pulsekins, PulseXkins, Inkikins will be happy. Stay cool and wait. That's the best way to do it. I'm just cracking up at the Robert Lucas question. Why the F would you buy EX over PX? I think there's more. It's a little bit more nuanced than PulseChain Hex better. That's why we had a longer conversation on it. Let's see. It depends on how big you're staking, how long you're staking, what your bag is, all that stuff. What's up, Peter? Appreciate that. Appreciate it. I mean, this was totally Validator AMA, and then Blue Bum wanted to come on. I'm like, yeah, come on in. We'll talk about, talk about PulseChain, talk about Hedron, whatever you want. Get it in a little bit here. A whole bunch of delete. I'm telling you, it's like, they say compound interest. The one that doesn't understand it pays it, and they say that if you're not. If you don't know who the mark is at the poker table, then it's you or the sucker. All kinds of different ways of saying this. But if you don't understand delayed gratification, you may be sad at waiting. Sad on like. Just, I think people who are upset too, they don't believe. They just don't believe. So if you don't believe, you're going to get upset more easily than someone who does believe. I've been following Richard Hart for 6 years. Man's a billionaire genius. I do all kinds of videos, search RHMax, Richard Hart Maximalism, whatever. I talk about him. I've got videos, I've got streams. I did Richard Hart AMAs back when it was Max FUD back in January, February. I was doing Richard Hart AMAs, telling you why he's, magic carpet ride, what he's going to do with it, longevity research, all this stuff. So it just means you don't believe. Like if you really ask yourself, like, why are you upset at this or that stuff? maybe you just don't believe enough. And I'm a believer. I'll say that. It's not about being a cool. It's not about being naive or all this stuff. It's just, I've seen enough evidence to say, why wouldn't this work? Why wouldn't it work? And looks like it's working to me. Richard, tweet again. Check. I didn't ever finish reading this. Basically, the world's watching and wanting to participate. They're just waiting on the bridge. What you see now, basically, is folks that have been waiting 2 years. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people who haven't been waiting 2 years because they didn't get in the sack. That's the crazy part. That's the FOMO. People who want in who didn't get in the sack and they don't have PLS and all this stuff. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay. All right. I know. I was going to do like Incanites. Yeah, it's kind of doesn't quite roll off the tongue. What's your take on Ink? I think Richard doesn't make loser tokens, and I believe people will build on it, if not Richard himself. And why not? Why would it be a loser token? Now, would I prioritize it over getting PLS, PulseX, and Hex and stuff? Do I think it'll do 10,000X? I don't think we're going to have the 10,000X meme for INC anytime soon, because it's a different animal, but I think it is a pretty badass animal. I'll say that, in my opinion. I think it will be. Not financial advice, anyway. My personal speculation. That's it. I like it. Gas is too high. That is a fantastic comment, Fast Abdul. Fantastic. I like the sarcasm. Just, do you want people using the chain, or do you want it to be a ghost chain? Do you want to be making fees off of that transactions? Like, if you're a validator, you're like, please, more volume, right? If you're participating in the network and you're not just holding liquid stuff, you will like to see people using it. So it's good for the network, good for onboarding, everything. Inkins, that might work. That could work. Jeff, and Micah. All right, everyone. I'm gonna call it a day. Coming up on the hour. And again, if you want to be a validator, could not be easier. Trying to make your life easier, make my life easier. It's selfish. It's so selfish that I would write the script that I use myself, and all these scripts that I use myself, to make everything much easier to use. So selfish, and it works out. Win-win. Love win-win situations. Let's keep winning, everyone. Appreciate the Omnic. Appreciate it. Everyone, have a great rest of your day. Unless something crazy happens, I probably won't be streaming, but I don't know. No expectations. Who knows? Scivive and 5555. I'm out.